Coordinator UCLG, General Secretary UCLG ASPAC, Assistant Director General UNESCO, mayors, human rights activists and professionals, government officials, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Please do accept my warm greetings. It is a pleasure to speak today at this forum. I would like to thank UCLG ASPAC and the organizations of 10th World Human Rights Cities Forum for this opportunity to share my view and experience as a mayor of a local government in Nepal. The theme of this session is very relevant in today's scenario. I will be presenting my views on local governments and COVID-19 Birganj experience. I will be speaking mainly about the roles of local government during the current crisis of COVID pandemic, which has affected us all. I will share my experience both as a local government in general and during the pandemic in particular. I will try to outline the major challenges we faced, actions we could take or couldn't take, lessons learned, and way forward. So COVID-19 has brought an extraordinary challenge to the humanity. It has adversely impacted the people in a manner never experienced before. Having impacted every aspect of public life, it has brought our planet to a grinding halt. More than new human rights challenges, the pandemic has deepened and worsened the pre-existing human rights problems, particularly for the most vulnerable. COVID started as a health emergency, but has quickly got into the social and economic affair as well. Nepal is not exception, our city is no exception. Before I get into my topic, I would like to speak about some background information. Nepal has always been a unitary state. Political instability, violence, conflicts, and insurgency has been perpetual. With the new constitution, Nepal became a federal republic. The transition from a unitary state to a federal structure with three tiers of government, central, provincial, and local government, is very recent in context of Nepal. There are now 7 province and 753 local levels. After a vacuum of about 2 decades, local government took place in end of 2017. The three tiers of government are still adjusting to the new structure. Necessary laws and institutions are not in place, and hence regular conflict between the central, provincial, and the local government arises. Decentralization hasn't happened in later and spring. In local level elections, many new faces with no experience have been elected in a large number. We all are struggling to understand our roles, relevant laws, policy, etc. With the decentralization, proper capacity building hasn't taken place. Adjustment of public service officers and employees was much delayed, and many of the local government lacked required human resources for long time. It impacted our service delivery and overall functioning. Another major challenge is lack of educate economic resource and its disbursable from the central government. With the enough support from the central government and inadequate internal revenue at the local levels, wide and desired development hasn't kicked off. Nevertheless, everyone has now realized the importance of a strong and empowered local government. People now have high expectation from local government. In our limited experience, we have understood the tremendous impact of an empowered local level which closely works with the citizen. General public now feel the ownership as function of local government is now increasingly participated. Through close proximity and access, citizens can participate in the planning process and pose questions to the elected members and officials. It wasn't this easy earlier. Public services are now designed and delivered as per the local need and desire. People now feel that they can have their say. citizens want to actively participate in each and every sphere of local decision making, and that's really encouraging. Nothing about us without us. It is general understanding now. We, the new constitution has ensured that women and minorities get educated representation in governments, and that has changed the political landscape. It's heartening to see people from different background and identity working together for a better society. Nepal has rich linguistic and caste diversity, and in the changed context, everyone has got greater share and representation than the past. If is now gradually becoming a level playing field. At least we are on right direction now. Slowly and steadily, we will reach the destination, and destination is a just and progressive society where human life has a dignity. A society that respects and protects human rights. A society with freedom and non-discrimination. A society that functions according to the rule of law. So we have laid a good foundation, and now we have to keep moving in the right direction. Special attention has to be given in uprooting the old and discriminatory practice. We have to continuously strive for an inclusive society and discouraging the environment which makes our citizen in exclusion. More focus and affordable education and health services is need of the hour. I would now like to bring your attention to the Birgal Metropolitan City. It is the youngest of the 6 metropolises in Nepal, situated in the plain land, the Tarai Madhes. It is a southern city which shares border to the India. Madhesis are the main indigenous population in this region. We have a population of about 400,000. Nationwide, lockdown was imposed in the month of March 2020 with few reported cases of COVID. Gradually, the case skyrocketed. COVID cases started being reported in our city too. Having an open border with India added to the numbers, as India already had more reported cases. Initially, there were very less scientific information and understanding about COVID-19, which generated an environment of threat and panic. With very limited knowledge about the disease and limited resources at hand, we are not much prepared to deal with it in an effective manner. Ever rising cases in the rich and mightiest countries of the world scared us. Nevertheless, we plan to deal with it in best possible manner. To date, we have faced many unique challenges and learned quite a few new experiences in this journey so far. In the pandemic scenario, we did what a local government has to do, and also what central and provincial governments could not do immediately. We had to respond in a timely and proactive manner. Apart from providing immediate relief to the poor and daily wage laborer in the unorganized sector, we also established quarantine centers, COVID special hospitals, mass PCR testing, pre-isolation centers, etc. We followed the 3T principle: trace, test, and treat. We launched an ambitious program, One Home, One PCR, to test at least one member from each household, a first of its kind in Nepal. It encouraged other local level bodies to start more testing and pressurized the central government to increase the testing rate. We did the wider consultation with elected representatives, civil society, security apparatus, rights group, and experts, lobbying to generate support from industrialists, other organizations. Public for effective management was done. The major challenge we faced during the pandemic are lack of coordination among the federal structure, scarcity of resources, limited know-how about the disease, restricted access to essential public services by the people, institutions becoming authoritarian and incentive, insensitive towards people, intentional and unwarranted restriction of human rights, pandemic as an excuse to violate human rights, ad hoc decision making, etc. On the positive side, we have learned quite a few lessons and got an opportunity to improve our shortcomings. I would like to talk about a few important lessons learned during the pandemic. We realized that establishing and maintaining infectious disease hospitals, shelters, community centers, resourceful and all well-equipped disaster management department and health department as crucial. Importance of early preparedness, right-based approach, periodic capacity building for elected representative and employee, especially concerning disaster management and protection of human rights, collaborating and coordination with institutions and organizations were strongly fed. It was a moment for us to ponder about the gaps in our functioning, work style, knowledge, and technical know-how. This has forced us to reflect and change the course. It has made our belief firm that a strong and empowered local government is the only way. So what's the way forward? A strong and empowered local governments, rights-based approach, localization of SDGs and HR, capacity building, mutual learning, sharing and cooperation, activism and lobbying, gender mainstreaming, ensuring constitutionally guaranteed rights to health and educate health care facilities, educate housing, sanitation, water supply, etc. A holistic approach that leads to no one behind must be our guiding principle. Thank you for your patiently listening to me.